Hi everyone, I'm Kat. Welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So I've been seeing this video floating around for a while. I've seen a few people do it in the clean beauty space. Alexa from Makeup by Blake is coming to mind. I've also seen some conventional beauty YouTubers like Jessica Braun film this video as well. And I really like the idea of it. I love the idea of sharing with you what my collection would look like if I weren't in fact a YouTuber. However, the reason it has taken me so long to sit down to film this video is because I've been overthinking it, because I realized that I really don't know what my collection would look like if I weren't a beauty YouTuber. My journey into clean beauty and also becoming a beauty YouTuber happened at the same time. When I was trying to get into clean beauty, I realized that there weren't a lot of clean beauty YouTubers. I had gotten into watching beauty YouTube prior to switching to clean beauty, and when I switched over to clean beauty, I wanted to watch clean beauty YouTubers and realized there really weren't many in the space. I wanted to be able to watch reviews on products, demos, swatches, all of that, and so I thought, you know what, when I begin on this journey of trying to transition to clean beauty, I'll start a channel and bring you guys along. And that's kind of what happened. So as I stepped into the clean beauty space, I also was stepping into the YouTube space at the same time. And also my makeup style was changing. Prior to really getting into beauty YouTube at all, I was very minimal with my makeup. I basically wore a powder foundation, would do a little bit of brows, mascara, and some lipstick. And that was basically my whole routine, sometimes some eyeshadow. And then I eventually transitioned into doing a more complete face and makeup. And then even now my style's been changing. I've been moving towards more light coverage makeup. And so at the end of the day, I don't really know what my collection would look like if I weren't a beauty YouTuber, especially in the clean beauty space. How I decided to approach this video though was, what if I stopped being a beauty YouTuber? Don't worry, I'm not planning to quit YouTube anytime soon, but if I were to quit tomorrow, for instance, and really start whittling down my collection, what products would I have? What would be the products I would hold on to? So in some ways, this is kind of like a holy grails video, but also really a reflection of right now where my style is at, what products I am loving, and what products help me achieve that look that I'm going for. I'm sitting here and don't have makeup on it, so I'm going to be applying the products as I'm talking to you about them. However, I realized as I was sitting down and rounding up products that I'm not going to just have one product in each category, because where I am right now, even if I didn't do YouTube, I don't think I would just have one foundation. I don't think I could go back to that state having already been through this state, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's a complicated video, but really what I'm going to be sharing with you today are basically my holy grails. I'm going to be talking to you about why I think I would hold on to these products and showing you, of course, me applying them on my face. I had the idea of doing this video, but also a skincare version. If I weren't a YouTuber, what would be my skincare collection? So if you'd like to see that video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know you like it, and also let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you like hearing about clean beauty, and be sure to click the bell button as well so you don't miss any of my uploads, and follow me on Instagram as well. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirlkat there. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I actually brought some clips with me this time, so I'm not gonna drive myself nuts while trying to apply products. Okay, so first off, we're gonna start with foundation. And I honestly really struggled to narrow down which foundation would be the one. So I realized I probably would still have a couple of foundations. First off, I would definitely have my Ilia Super Skin Tint SPF 40 foundation. I love that it has SPF. I love the level of coverage. I just think it's a really nice product. However, I don't think this would be my only foundation, just because, especially during the summer, I get so oily. This foundation can be a little bit much for me during the summer. So I think I would have, at least living in the climate I live in, I would need summer, winter products. My other ride or die, as we all know, is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. There are a lot of other foundations I'm loving right now. I love the Range Beauty Foundation. I've been loving the Jane Iredale Foundation. However, I was thinking I would probably just have these two Ilia foundations, to be honest, because this one, I feel like the coverage is very adjustable. I can really build it up, but I can also sheer it out. It could really be quite a versatile product. And obviously I love the finish of it. It wears beautifully on me, whether it is in the summer or in the winter. So I'm going to be applying this one today. I actually haven't worn this one for a while, which is kind of funny. I've been really going for like no makeup looks, so I haven't been wearing a lot of foundation, but I'm really happy to be applying this one again. But like I said, and that's another thing, like there's so many great foundations. I'm always testing and trying out new foundations. There's always new ones coming on the market, so it's really hard for me to be like, this would be the foundation I have. But this one I've loved for years, so I think it really has stood the testament of time for me. I'm gonna do a pretty sheer application. I do have a few breakouts. I have ideas of why I had those breakouts. I talk about that in a video where I was reviewing a foundation. I'll link that up above. But I just want, pretty sheer coverage with this foundation today. Oh, and I should mention the shade I have here is SF.5, which is the shade Sable. I think this is my favorite shade. I think it gives me the best shade match, personally, for my fair skin. So if you have fair skin, this is a really good foundation in terms of having a shade range that goes light enough. And it also goes pretty deep as well. I mean, it's not the biggest shade range in Clean Beauty, but I think it has one of the better shade ranges. So we're gonna move on to concealer. I think I would have 2 concealers, and part of this is because I have acne prone skin. I tend to get breakouts, and although there are concealers that I can use to conceal breakouts and also for concealing under my eyes, I typically want 2 slightly different shades, and also sometimes I want different levels of coverage as well. So I think for that reason, I would have 2 different concealers, which was pretty typical even before I switched to being a beauty YouTuber. I would typically have 1 concealer I would use under my eyes and 1 concealer I would use to conceal breakouts. So I think that's very reasonable, just given me and my history of makeup. But first off, I would, of course, have my Saint Cosmetics concealer. This is in the shade Alabaster, and this would be the one I would use under my eyes. I love how lightweight it is and how brightening it is, and also that it's more of a self-setting concealer. I have very oily skin, and I really need a concealer that kind of is a bit self-setting. I find that those just tend to stay in place and don't crease on me nearly as much. This is, I know Reagan, I saw her testing out this with concealer and not liking it, and it might be due to the fact that we have very different skin types. Like my skin is just oily, but this is by far like one of my favorite concealers. It really is just a concealer that I reach for every day. Like I'm starting to make quite a dent in this. I think the next time that either Saint Cosmetics or Credo has a sale, I will probably pick up another tube of this because I am making my way through this tube pretty quickly. I would also have the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. This is in the shade 0.5 Arrowroot. I like it also with the Ilia foundations. I feel like the tones all go together very well. That's one advantage of sticking within the same brand for concealers and for foundations, is often you can get really nice kind of blending of shades because they're typically running along the same shade lines. But I really just like the amount of coverage that this has and the way this one also dries down. That's why I like using it under my eyes as well. I would probably have a couple blushes, not nearly as many as I do now because I have oodles of blushes, but I really narrowed it down to my favorite blushes and ones that I think I would reach for and use all the time, and ones that I reach for and use all the time, and that way I could kind of segment those off as being blushes I would definitely hold on to. So the first one should come as absolutely no surprise. This is my Kjaer Weis blush in the shade Embrace. I always want to call this Abundance, but it's in the shade Embrace. I've hit pan on it. I own a lot of blushes right now, and the fact that I've actually hit pan on this is pretty impressive. This is an extremely expensive product, but I was thinking if I have a really small makeup collection, because I'm not a YouTuber, this is something that for me is completely worth the splurge. It's such a joy of a product to use. This is actually what I'm going to be applying today, but let me show you the other blushes that I would definitely hold on to as well. This one here, I've not been reaching for as much because it's summer. I find this product works a lot better on me in the winter. Once again, my skin's very oily. This product is a little bit just too dewy for me during the summer, but I absolutely love this in the winter. And this is the Oleo Yoso Balm. I have the shade, which shade do I have? I have number 9. It's this really pretty pink. It looks super bright, but when you apply it, it's like this beautiful, just kind of sheer pink. It gives you that just like barely flushed look. It is perfect for winter and spring. I love it. It also wears beautifully on the lips as well. It's a great multi-purpose product. And then I also would probably have this one here. This is this is a powder blush, and this is the Jane Iredale blush in the shade Dubonnet. And I love the formula, but what I really love is the shade. I don't know, something about this blush shade. I just love how it looks on my skin tone. I think it's just a super flattering shade for my fair skin. And it's like a kind of dusty pink, but like a little brown. It's just, I don't know, something about that shade is just beautiful. So I would probably have that as well, just also so I would have a powder blush option in case I really was not in the mood for a cream. But let's be honest, I wear a cream blush 90% of the time, so it would make sense to have 2 cream blushes and 1 powder blush. Let me go ahead and apply Embrace. And also what I like about this shade too is that it's not too warm and it's not too cool. You know, this blush could really work for a wide range of, you know, looks, other makeup looks. And also, I try and coordinate my makeup with my clothes. And so if I'm wearing something warm toned, I feel like this blush could also work with, you know, a more warm toned like shirt or dress. I of course always set under my eyes because I do have very oily skin and concealer just tends to crease on me. I really don't think this comes as a surprise if you've been watching my channel for any length of time. If I had to just have one setting powder, it would be my 14E setting powder. I love this. It performs really well. It's also very reasonably priced, all things considered. So this would just be the one I use. And like one of these lasts for so long. So I could really get a lot of use out of this, a lot of mileage. So I would definitely be using that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set under my eyes with my 14E setting powder. So the next product is highlighter, and this one is a bit complex for me. For them, I'm not going to get into all the details, but because I've done that before. But what I want to say is I'm not choosing to support RMS Beauty because their morals and just the way they are behaving as a company is not something that aligns with my morals and the way I think a company should behave. And so I'm not choosing to support them any further or promote them on my channel. Up until I made this decision, the highlighter that I would say hands down would be my one and only highlighter would be the RMS Living Luminizer. I am still trying to find a dupe for that one. I've not quite found one yet, so I don't actually know what would be my only highlighter. My best guess, given like all the products I currently have and kind of what things I'm gravitating for, would actually be my Kjaer Weis highlighter in the shade Radiance. It's not quite the same tone, but it's just a very subtle cream highlighter, and the formula is really nice. I love the Kjaer Weis cream formula. So for right now, I'm going to say this would be what I would have because out of my collection, this would be what I would pick. I'm going to be applying this to the tops of my cheekbones. There are a couple shades of this highlighter too, if the shade doesn't look like something you would enjoy, but it is just a really nice, subtle glow. And I think too that with gravitating towards cream blushes, I would definitely gravitate towards having just a cream highlighter over a powder highlighter. And also there's something about a cream highlighter and just like the very natural glow it gives you that is almost impossible to achieve with a traditional powder highlighter. So I think all that wrapped up into one, I would just have this cream highlighter rather than a cream and a powder. I always set my foundation, and what I use to set it is my Clove & Hallow powder foundation. I would definitely have this if I were not a YouTuber because I could use this to set my foundation if I want to wear one of the Ilia foundations, or if I really want to do a no makeup look, I could just use this product. So I feel like between those 3 foundations, I have a very versatile foundation collection, and I can really get a range of levels of coverage. So I'm going to just lightly set my face with this, but I could also envision myself, and I have been doing that recently, like just wearing this powder foundation. be a bronzer. And this is also a bit of a complicated one because, to be honest, before I started YouTube, I never wore bronzer. Never even crossed my mind. I thought with my fair skin, it wouldn't look good on me. And to be completely honest and transparent, the likeliness of me wearing bronzer if I weren't on YouTube is probably quite low. Like on a daily basis, am I gonna put on bronzer? No. However, I have found some bronzers that I've liked this summer. I did a video where I reviewed and really talked about all the different bronzers I've tried out in Clean Beauty. I'll link that up above in case you're interested. But I think if I took my collection, boiled it down, I would probably still hold on to my Kosas bronzer in Light. It's a bit of a controversial product. Like people either love it or they hate it, and I am on the like love it side. I wouldn't use this every day. It would really be a product that I would use during the summer, sometimes when I felt like it. Like it wouldn't be a staple in my routine, but I probably would still hold on to this. I'm not feeling in the mood to wear it today, so I'm not going to, but it is a product that I really like, and I could see myself holding on to it for the occasions when I did want to wear bronzer. Okay, let's move on then to brows. One of my favorite brow products that I've discovered has been the Pacifica Highest Def Hemp Fiber Brow. And if I were to not be a YouTuber, I would still use this product because it's really fast, it's really easy. I like how it holds my brows in place. I like the amount that it fills in my brows. And also it's really affordable because you go through brow product pretty quickly. And this one is just very affordable. It's easy to find. It's available in a lot of places, Ulta, Target, you know, it's just accessible. So I would definitely still use this. So I'm gonna fill in my brows with this one. This is a new bottle that I had to purchase a new one because I ran out of my old one, and then I was using another brow product that I didn't like as much, and now I'm back to using this one. Shade Light, which I have pretty dark brows and hair, but I really like lighter brow products because they help me to not have like crazy brows, but I can still fill them in and still have them held in place. Like this brow gel has a lot of hold. I like everything about it. It's just a really good product. So moving on to eyeshadow. Well, first I'm going to talk about eyeshadow primer. This is probably no surprise. I would still have my Radiance Faces eyeshadow primer, especially because I have such oily skin, oily hooded eyelids. Like this eye primer really just locks eyeshadows in place, and I would continue using this because for me it makes a really big difference in how well my shadows like last and wear. Eyeshadow is tricky though because I love eyeshadow, but I also know that I would not have nearly as many eyeshadow palettes as I do now, and I would really gravitate towards very neutral eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to share with you a few that I could really see myself holding on to and using regularly if I weren't a beauty YouTuber. However, I also could very easily see myself like doing a nice collection of Prisma palette shadows and just like picking a few shades that are very wearable, like shades I really enjoy, and just using like my own custom palette. I'm going to show you palette options, but also if you're the kind of person that really just wants to curate your own like collection of just a few eyeshadows that you absolutely love, I would highly recommend Prisma palettes. Amazing formula and a huge color selection. I absolutely love their shadows. Okay, the first one I absolutely would hold on to, and this would probably be a product that I would reach for on an everyday basis. Something that I always travel with. This is my Jane Iredale eyeshadow trio in the shade Triple Cognac. It's just a beautiful, very neutral combination of shades. But these are super wearable. They're high performing shadows. I love them. And there's a reason why it's kind of like an everyday staple for me and also a travel staple. I don't have to think about it. Like it's just really easy, really fast. And if I want to do fast makeup, get out the door quickly, this is definitely a product that I reach for. This would hands down be included as well. It's not a palette, but I absolutely love my Kosas 10-second eyeshadow in the shade Globe. I wear this so much. Really, if you were to run into me on an everyday basis, if you were to run into me on the streets of Boston, you know, when I was going into work or leaving work or something like that, there's a very high chance that I would have this eyeshadow on because especially when I'm getting ready in a hurry, it's so easy. I just throw on the Radiance Faces eye primer, just throw this on, blend it out with my finger, run out the door. I would definitely have this eyeshadow on hand. For that reason, I love traveling with it as well. I've tried a number of the other Kosas shades, and honestly, none of them have gravitated with me quite as much as this shade. It's just, especially for my skin tone, a beautiful, beautiful shade. And the formula is really good. Some of the 10-second eyeshadows are a little bit hit or miss with formula, but this is definitely like spot on in terms of formula. I'm gonna share with you like a few of my top favorite palettes because I honestly don't know which ones I would pick. I really like the Clove and Hallow I think this is called their Sunrise eyeshadow palette. They only have one. So the Clove and Hallow eyeshadow palette, I think it's a really nice collection of shades, and it's a nice collection of very wearable shades. It gives me all the eye looks I want, and I don't find myself needing to reach for other palettes. So I think this is a great staple palette to have on hand for that reason. And I would very likely hold on to this. Also, the pans are huge. Like this eyeshadow, if this were the only one that I were using, it would last me for such a long time. This one's a little bit more of a recent discovery, but now that I have it, I cannot envision myself getting rid of it. And this is the Lavina Eye Magic palette. It's got some more colorful shades in it, but especially like these are such beautiful matte browns. I really love this shade. It's just a beautiful all over shade. And then these two shades could give me like a more of a pop, but still be kind of very wearable. I also love doing like a full pink look with this. This is definitely a palette that I love and could not see myself getting rid of. This one could potentially be my only palette, and this is kind of crazy, but this is the Pacifica Animal Magic palette. I absolutely love this palette. It's got such a huge range of shades. I mean, I could just have this palette and like really not need any other palette. So I guess if you had to boil it down, I would probably go with like the Jane Iredale for traveling, the Kosas 10-second eyeshadow globe, and then I think this palette. Like if I really had to narrow it down, I'd probably say these three because those three products, because they would really give me everything that I would want. Granted, I would terribly miss my Lavina palette because I love the formula of that, and Globe and Hallow palette is also just a really solid palette. But if I had to like just go with one big palette, this would cover it. So I think I'm going to use this on my eyes today. I used the Kosas 10-second globe in a Get Ready With Me recently, so if you'd like to see that, I will link that up above, but I'll just go ahead and do like a very everyday look with this palette because that would be something I would do. Okay, I'm first putting on my Aaron's Faces primer because I, of course, would do this. It really helps to increase the longevity of shadows. So let's just go for a very classic cat look. I'm going to take the shade Wolf right here and just apply this all over my lid using my fingers because that's honestly typically how I apply shimmer shades, just like this. All right, next I'm going to grab a fluffy brush and just take this shade right here and Swan and just kind of dust this lightly in my crease. This just really helps to get a nice blended look. I mean, these eyeshadows blend really easily. They don't need a lot of help, but you know, if you just want to have a very fast and easy blending job and not worry about it, I find that taking a, you know, kind of light skin tone-ish shade, obviously this is not everyone's skin tone, but it's very close to mine, and just running this in the crease really can kind of help everything else blend super easily. Okay, next we'll go in with this shade Stag, which is right here. It's this nice matte brown. It's a very light matte brown, but I really like that, especially for my skin tone. It just helps to deepen and give a little bit of definition in the crease. Next, I'm just going to define my upper and lower lash line. I'll take this shade here, which is Bear. It's a nice deep matte brown, and I'll just run this with a, I can't remember what kind of brush this is, but this kind of brush. I'll just run it along my upper and lower lash line to just give a little bit of definition. personally, I will take this shade here, which is White Raven. It's a nice light shimmery shade, and I'll just pop this in my inner corners. I'm gonna do this very gently. This is a pretty intense shade, and I just want a little bit of brightness in the inner corner, not too much. Of course, I'm gonna go in with some mascara. I went back and forth on mascaras. I really love the Honest Beauty mascara, and I also really love the Air & Spaces mascara. However, the Air & Spaces, there's pros and cons to each. Air & Spaces comes in glass packaging, so it's more friendly for recycling. Honest Beauty is much more accessible. You can get it at Target, you can get it at Ulta. It's also a little bit more affordable, but doesn't come in glass packaging. I went back and forth. I think I landed on I would probably just use the Honest Beauty, but I would be very happy with either mascara. It would be, you know, maybe I would alternate and go back and forth, but today I'm just going to use the Honest Beauty. I'm going to curl my lashes quickly, apply this, and then we'll jump back and talk about the last category, which is lips. So I got my mascara on, and now we're going to talk about lips. And this category is so hard for me because I may have been a minimalist in makeup before starting YouTube and before venturing into clean beauty. However, one thing I've never been a minimalist with is lipstick. And I think part of the reason is my lips don't have a lot of pigment. So I basically always have a lip product on because I don't feel like I can just go out in the world with no lipstick on. I look a bit like a ghost. Like, it doesn't look the best. And so for that reason, I really did have a collection of different lipsticks and different shades. So I think I would still have that. In fact, I know I would still have that. Knowing me, I would have a couple different lipsticks because also if you do nothing else, if you wear the same eyeshadow every day, you wear the same blush every day, if you wear the same, highlighter every day, one way you can really easily switch up a look and make it look completely different is by swapping lipsticks. And you can go from day to night. You can go from very warm tone to very cool tone. You can go very, red and vibrant and punchy. You can go very neutral, and it's all just with your lipstick. So I know I would have a collection of lip products. So I'm gonna walk you through what I think I would have. So first off, I know I would have this Kosas Sport. I absolutely love it. I reach for it. I wear it all the time. I have the shade Rush. It's just a very nice kind of neutral pink, and I love that it's a balm, but it has some tint to it. It's just like a very everyday lip product, and for that reason, I would 100% still have this. Also, for a very similar reason, I would have this product right here. And this is a very expensive lip gloss, but it's like, the formula is so good, I have to say that I would have it. This is the Thick Glow Lip Serum. I have the shade Nudie. I think I might like a little bit more of a nude shade, but I also really like the shade here. It's just a very nice pink, and I love the formula. I love the level of pigmentation. I love how nourishing it is. This is an amazing product, and I would definitely have this as a lip gloss. I think I would also, I know this is probably going to come as a surprise, but I think I would also have the Talk Beauty lip gloss in the shade XO. I love how much of a neutral lip gloss it is, and I really have fallen in love with this formula. I have a very hard time finding like nude lip products, but for some reason this color really works well on my fair skin. I've got a swatch right here. I find it to be actually flattering, and I really enjoy it and reach for it a lot. Okay, I also, for a bit of a wild card, I also would definitely have a Clove and Hollow Lip Velvet, and I would probably have this one in the shade Fiesta. I love a good red lip, and I love having a red lipstick in this formula because it's a purely matte like a lipstick. It doesn't transfer, doesn't smudge, doesn't budge. And before I switched over to clean beauty, I was wearing actually a lot of liquid lipsticks, and the reason I wore them so much is because they didn't transfer, they didn't budge. They were just a very no fuss product. And especially with having a shade like this that can be a very high maintenance shade, this is probably the best formula to have for this type of color. And for that reason, I would definitely have this in my collection as well. And then I would have a whole bunch of Red Apple lipsticks. I love the Red Apple lipstick formula. Out of all the lipsticks I've tried in clean beauty, that formula is probably the best in my opinion. The shade range of their lipsticks is huge. There's such a huge variety. They come out with new shades pretty much twice a year. I love it. I honestly can't tell you what shades I would have because I have so many. I keep meaning to do a swatch video and talk to you about all the shades I have. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. But there are just so many beautiful shades and I definitely would have some of those. I'm gonna find one here that I really like and wear that on my lips. Actually, this one is a really good one. I'll probably put this on my lips today. This is a shade Day After Morocco. This came out in their summer collection, I think like a year or two ago, and I absolutely love it. I'm gonna, actually, or do I want, ooh, Sweet Pea. I think I actually want Sweet Pea. I think this is the one I want today. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the one I want today. It's gonna give me a nice pop of color. And see, what I love about this lipstick is it took a very kind of like neutral everyday look and just spiced it up a little bit. But I would definitely have a number of Red Apple lipstick shades. Their formula is super comfortable, very long wearing, and I love it. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, I would have, of course, a couple lip glosses, lip balm, you know, a liquid lipstick, a matte liquid lipstick, but really the bulk of my lipstick collection would be in Red Apple lipsticks. So, oh, I really love the Ilia Colorblock lipstick in the shade Rosewood. That one's also, I would probably, yeah, I better throw that one in. I would have this one, and then all the rest would just be Red Apple lipsticks because their formulas are incredible, and you know, I could really find every shade I am looking for in their range. All right, so I think I hit on all the categories. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. If I did, let me know in the comment section down below. But if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course, let me know if you'd like me to do this video but for skincare. I would be more than happy to do that. Let me know what are some of your staple products. I know some of you have YouTube channels and some of you don't, but to be realistic, I'm not gonna have just one product in every category because the reason we all got here is because we love makeup and we love trying out new products. So it would be very unrealistic just to have one product in each category. But I think obviously my collection would be much, much smaller than it currently is if I weren't doing YouTube. But I hope you enjoyed this. It was really fun for me to film. It really made me think a lot about what are my favorite products and really helped me kind of boil down like what are my favorite products in my collection. So I really enjoyed that. Also, if you like this type of video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell button so you're notified of when I post new videos. And also follow me on Instagram. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirlkat to see more clean beauty content on there. And once again, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.